Welcome back to the channel about the Mooney and my flying adventures. Since the Mooney isn't a new airplane anymore, I would like to share a little bit with you how I, keep it maintained and pretty, so I can actually pass it on to the next owner in a good shape. It's not the newest airplane anymore. It's a 1984 model, and it's still the original interior, which is great from a restoration point of view. We don't want to over repair it, but one very unpleasant thing with it is that indeed this door seal or the wind seal is ripped in the aft portion here. Doesn't look too bad in the upper and the front portion, but this is really unsightly. In particular, as you enter the aircraft, you are exposed to this site where basically the exterior material has been completely ripped, and you see the interior, the filling of it coming out. And so it's very unpleasant, in particular for passengers that are not too familiar with 40-year-old airplanes. So the plan is to get this part out, manufacture something that has the same function and perhaps even the same looks, and reinstall it back. First step is we're looking at the illustrated parts manual of the Mooney M20J, and we are finding this diagram in the fuselage part of the manual. And as you can see, it's mainly the mechanism, the door mechanism, that is well illustrated with all part numbers, the door itself, and where all the parts, how they fit together to make the mechanism. Unfortunately, the upholstery part is not shown, also not on the fuselage side. So there's no part number to this particular seal, and so we have to work with it anyway in a way like a upholstery service or shop would do, by just making our own. This is how I put together the replacement for this wind seal. Um, the components I used were synthetic leather, and I chose a cream color, very much in line with the interior. A rubber tube, 1 centimeter in diameter as the core, and contact glue. With these components, I was able to run through a process. So first I cut the leather to a 10 centimeter by 3 meter strip. That was the base of the seal. I cut the rubber core to 3 meter length, and 3 meters is really a conservative estimate of the overall seal length. I can, cut it later. Apply the glue to the center part of the leather strip, which then took the core. So the rubber core was glued into the center of this 10 centimeter broad leather strip. Then I applied the glue to the sides of the leather strip and folded over the leather strip over the rubber core, resulting in a kind of a tadpole shaped profile. A word of caution: if you do that with these contact glues, you have just one try, so you have to be very, aware that once you put these things together, you can't take them apart because it's a very efficient glue, and once put together, it's either difficult or impossible to take it apart. So that means that if you create wrinkles, as long as they're small enough, they could actually be flattened out with a hot air gun. I had to do that in a couple of places, so that is also an important information. So if you create some wrinkles, it's not the end of the world, but you have to kind of work them out with hot air gun. I put the hot air gun to 300 degrees Celsius. Of course, it's then very hot, and you have to work a little bit with gloves and to make sure you're not hurt. So at the end, I cut it to approximate length, so I'm close enough to the final product. Of course, you want to leave some margin and cut it to the actual needed length later as you install the the replacement seal, which is the next step. This is the glue I used. It's just a normal shoemaker's glue, and this is the final product.